getting the victory here. Was challenging for them through 2.5 quarters to have enough fight and will to them to be able to make enough plays to be able to win the game at the end. Obviously, we didn't have that. We started feeling pretty good about ourselves mid-third when it was 27-13, and the game wasn't over, and we refused to make a play on offense, defense, or special teams in the last quarter and a half. We refused to coach well enough to be able to win the game, and obviously that will get addressed. Questions?
Offensively, what did go wrong those last quarter and a half?
I don't know. They probably played harder than we did, probably called better plays. We called the same plays in the last quarter and a half than we did in the first 2.5 quarters. First quarter was bad. Fourth quarter was awful. For 2 quarters, it started resembling offensive football. That needs to be, it's what it needs to look like. Did we get better offensively? Look better in spurts, yes. But when you end the game with 5 3-and-outs, I think everybody would agree it's as bad as it can possibly get offensively. And obviously the most crucial time of the game. That's when you'd like to see defense rise up and make a stop, and we refuse to do that to the point where it would help us win.
Talk about Amaro and what he was able to do. Obviously, it was a focal point for you guys heading into the week.
You can't cover him. Even when you cover him, he still makes plays. He's a great player. For the most part of his 9 catches, we were able to get him down, but a couple times we were not able to get him down, and he's going to make you pay. He's a great player. I got a good plan as far as getting him involved. Even when you cover him, he's still open. He's just so big, skilled.
Dana, when you got here, you talked about the defense and getting them in shape for the Big 12. What about the offense? Do you feel like they might have tired out at the end there?
Our tempo was the best it's been all year. Are we used to doing that? No. Did I feel like that affected us? I don't. I don't. We started getting into a rhythm. We had a lot of plays. We ended with 82, but when you finish your last 5 drives with 5 3-and-outs, up until that point, we had a lot of plays. So our tempo was good all the way up until the mid-third. Defensively, we don't have depth. We're scared to put in other guys. Which is tough when you're defending 80-some plays a game.
Do you like what you got out of Charles and Dravius in the running game?
What's that?
Do you like what you got out of Charles and Dravius in the running game?
For 2.5 quarters, yes, and then we couldn't get a first down. So 2.5 quarters, yes. Didn't have the the fight and the will to want to win, the will to finish blocks and it's not just up front; it's perimeter stuff as well.
Did they change anything to?
Well, they played harder than we did up front in the last quarter and a half because they were keeping safeties because we scared them early and we were doing things downfield early, so they kept their safeties back a lot in the second half, and we were unable to block man on man in the last quarter and a half.
Do you think the injuries
discouraging, disheartening?
Do you think the injuries on the offensive line affected that at all?
Probably. I don't know. Suck it up. They didn't have that problem. This game we should have won.
Then in the first quarter, you didn't go for the 40-yard field goal.
Yeah, I regretted that. I did regret that, Bob. We were moving the ball, and then the penalties just kept backing us up. Whether you agree with them, whether you don't, you got to keep playing, and we did. So we were moving the ball, so I felt good about where we're at offensively. It was about a 48, 49-yard field goal. I do regret that decision. I should have kicked it. What was my thinking at that point was I just felt good about moving the ball, and I just saw them take it right down and score 2 times in a row. So I figured the touchdowns were going to be, important. We should have kicked the field goal, but the reasoning I didn't is that it was 4th and 2 or whatever it was, and we were moving the ball okay. So I felt good about going for it. It was not the correct decision.
Your thoughts on Clint?
Have to look at it for sure. I thought he was jittery early, and then once he settled down, Thought he handled that. The communication was great. You know, that's one thing that we've been really focused on. The communication was good. There wasn't a delay, you know, in the communication between me and him and everybody else. He's done a good job with that. You know, the play calling I thought was fine. I thought he was, you know, operating okay. You know, had some drops. You know, still don't know what he completed. You know, better than what he's been doing.
They said in the
We'll
press box-
continue to get better.
I'm sorry. They said in the press box he was a game time decision. Was that health reasons, or was he
No,
saying that even?
no, just him and Paul had been splitting the reps, and I just kind of wanted to see how it went. You know, and you know, all through the, you know, not the first couple of drives, but the drives after that, we were moving the ball and scoring a little bit, so I felt pretty good about it.
Aside from X's and O's, it sounds like you're more disappointed with the effort. Is that
Not the effort. Not the effort. And I told him that down there. Not the effort. The effort was fine. The will to win was not there. And you could see it on the sidelines. Fourth quarter, our crowd was great when we gave them reasons to be. You know, when we gave them reasons to be great, our crowd was great. You know, the second quarter, third quarter, it was tremendous. Fourth quarter, when we're up 13 points, you know, we didn't have the will to knock them out, and that's disappointing. And they had the will to want to win a little bit more than we did, and that starts with me.
Okay, anything else for Coach?
All right, thanks.
All right, thanks, Chris.